Doesn't look like anyone's been here. What's that smell?
This officer is, unknowingly, reacting to the decomposition odor coming from Craig Thetford's hidden body. Police have been searching for him for months with no success, and even now, with the foul odor in the air, they still have no idea he's buried only feet away.
Is that dirt or is that blood?
This is the only way I've been able to have any communication with you, and I don't even know if it's him.
I wouldn't even know where to start looking.
There's some weird going on.
Whoever killed Craig covered their tracks meticulously, using chemicals to mask the odor, disabling security cameras, and hiding in plain sight. And while detectives spend months trying to figure out where Craig went, the suspected killer quietly continues spending Craig's money, allegedly buying houses, cars, and crafting a plan to ensure they're never found.
Holy smokes.
Well, I want to say something else, but I don't want to implicate her.
You need to say it.
You might start looking in the Caribbean.
New Mexico. Tucked among wooded acreage and mountain terrain sits a 2,000 square foot property owned by 60-year-old Craig Thetford. He lives inside this large 3-story house with his wife, Dina. The Thetfords enjoy a comfortable lifestyle thanks to Craig's roofing business. They own multiple residential properties and frequently take luxury vacations. But a few months ago, something dark took place inside the Thetford household, and it went unnoticed for weeks, until May 2025, when the Otero County Sheriff's Office receives a disturbing call.
Communications on a recorded line. How can I help you?
Who would I talk to have a wellness check done on an individual?
That would be me. What's going on?
Okay. His name is Craig Thetford. Everybody here in Texas has been trying to get a hold of Craig for nearly 2 months.
Okay.
We can't get a hold of his wife. We're really concerned about him because this is not like him. He always answers his phone or calls back. Even his family here hasn't been able to get a hold of him. Nobody can get a hold of him.
On the line is Larry Scott, requesting a welfare check on his friend. But something about this call is different. As Larry explains, nobody has seen Craig or his wife for months. A detail that's highly unusual since most missing person reports come within days. Following this, officers are dispatched to the address to conduct a welfare check on the Thetford couple. Once they pull up to the long driveway and step out into the mountain air, they can sense something is off about this place.
Sheriff's office!
Can you see anything through the windows?
Yeah, I got a pretty good look through the windows. Doesn't look like there's anyone in there.
As officers walk around the residence, they notice the sheer size of the property, with multiple carports and outbuildings. Lights are on throughout the home itself, but strangely, no one answers the door. Looking through the windows, one officer notices several boxes stacked, suggesting that the couple might be in the process of moving or had already left. As another officer circles towards the carport, he hesitates. There's something odd about the air around him.
I got a pretty decent security camera on the back.
Doesn't look like anyone's been here. What's that smell?
Coming from the carport, a faint, strange odor drifts through the space. But up in the mountains, with wildlife and wooded terrain, unusual smells aren't uncommon, so the officer brushes it off and moves on. With the home appearing vacant and no immediate signs of foul play, cops call it off and leave with the impression that the Thetford couple likely moved out and simply forgot to inform their friend Larry. Unknowingly, officers are walking away from the first signs that something far more sinister is at play. The next day, things begin to shift into something more serious as police receive a second call about Craig. However, this one carries more concerning details than the last.
Telecommunications on a recorded line. How can I help you?
Okay, this is going to seem really, really strange. About 4 months ago, my grandpa had went off the face of the world, and he's a volunteer firefighter up there. He loves to do it. He talks to me about that all the time. And so I'd like to place a wellness check, but the only person that said she's talked to him in 4 months is his wife, and apparently now they're getting a divorce. He's doing a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't believe it. It's not my grandpa. It's just really strange.
What's his name?
Craig Thetford.
And what's your name?
My name is Cody Gibson. and I'm his grandson. His wife is supposedly in Texas getting a divorce.
With yet another welfare check request from Craig's grandson Cody, a clearer timeline begins to form. It now sounds like Craig hasn't been missing for 2 months as previously believed by his friend. Instead, he hasn't been seen for over 4 months, which is even more alarming. Additionally, the reason no formal missing person report was filed starts to make sense, as Cody goes on to explain that his grandfather's wife, Dina Thetford, has been telling everyone that Craig is in Mexico with another woman after filing for divorce. A story that doesn't sit right with Craig's grandson. Following this second call, Otero County Sheriff's deputies are dispatched back to Craig's house. This time, instead of simply knocking and leaving, they widen the scope. If Craig and his wife aren't inside the house, maybe someone nearby has seen or heard something. So deputies begin canvassing the surrounding properties, a decision that will quietly kickstart an investigation into what may become one of the most elaborate and twisted homicide cover-ups they've ever handled.
Deputy Pintor with the Sheriff's Office. By chance, have you seen your neighbors over?
No, sir, I hadn't. I've been really worried about him since January. And we were real good friends and everything.
Okay.
And we were both on the James Canyon Fire Department.
Mm-hmm.
And then come January, there was just no contact.
No contact at all come January?
I got him. I was on the James Canyon Fire Department there for about 5.5 years. Mm-hmm. And when he moved up here, I talked him into it.
Okay.
And I mean, we were real good friends and everything. Yeah. And then Josh over here, we got him on the fire department. Josh and Heidi here would know more information about them because I know.
Do you know what the address is over there?
It's just the A-frame right there.
This one right here?
Yeah, this one right here.
Hi, can I help you?
Yes, ma'am. How are you? I'm Deputy Pintor with the Otero County Sheriff's Office. Yeah. We were looking for Craig Thetford.
Yeah, we haven't heard from Craig.
Okay.
We're buying the house from him. He was in Breckenridge taking care of his mom.
Okay.
Yeah, his wife Dina is my friend. She's in and out from the house down there.
Okay.
But she hasn't really talked to him either, which is weird.
Have you talked to Dina lately?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And have you asked her anything about like Craig, how he's doing or anything like that?
From what she's telling me, she's not talking to him either.
She's not, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, are they like not together right now?
I think they're splitting up.
Gotcha, okay. Okay.
Sure that's what's happening.
And when was the last time you saw Dina here in the area?
It's probably been about 3 weeks now.
About 3 weeks?
Yeah.
As far as Heidi knows, Craig and Dina are in the middle of separating, with Craig supposedly staying at his mother's house in Texas. That explanation doesn't match what Dina told Craig's grandson Cody, who was under the impression that his grandfather went to Mexico after filing for divorce. To investigate further, the deputy asks Heidi for Dina's phone number and tries calling her. But worryingly, it goes straight to voicemail. With no immediate leads, officers return to the station. Before Deputy Pinter can relay his findings to detectives, his phone starts ringing. Interestingly, the caller is one of the Thetfords.
Hello?
Hi, I missed a phone call.
Yes, ma'am. How are you? This is Deputy Pintor calling from the Otero County Sheriff's Office. I was calling in reference to your husband, Craig. It seems that he hasn't been in contact with a lot of his family and some of his friends.
Right, yeah. We have been separated, and I recently filed for divorce. He's involved with someone else, and currently he's in Mexico.
And when was the last time you saw him or spoke to him?
Before he left.
Would you have an estimate, like, was it like 1 week, 2 weeks?
First of the month.
First of the month. And you saw him in person, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
He was packing, yes.
Where was this at? Was this at your residence on Heatherwood?
Yes, he has moved out.
And where are you currently staying at?
I'm at my mom's in Texas, Seymour, Texas.
Yeah. Well, I guess let me ask you, are you going to permanently be staying at Seymour, Texas? No? Okay.
Until I see what happens in the divorce, I'm going to ask for the property.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think he's missing.
On the line is Dina Thetford, clarifying that her husband is actually in Mexico with another woman. The same story she told Craig's grandson, but different from what her neighbor reported. Naturally, this drastically complicates the investigation, as locating a missing person in another country is exponentially more difficult. But during the phone call, Dina also goes on to explain that she suspected Craig of cheating on her for nearly a year before confirming the affair a couple of months earlier. Now she's staying with her mother in Texas, but plans to return to New Mexico and fight Craig in court to keep the property for herself. The deputy confirms Dina's current phone number before ending the call. Aside from the inconsistent story about Craig's whereabouts, police have no reason to believe Dina is hiding anything. But that is about to change.
I tried to warn Craig. She did state if I could kill Craig and get away with it, I'd do it.
My mom's crazy. Like, she tried to kill me before.
In the days that follow, Craig Thetford is officially entered into the FBI database as a missing person, and the case is assigned to Detective Bobby Curtis with the district's Major Crimes Unit. As Curtis begins digging into the couple's background, one detail immediately stands out. Craig is Dina's fourth husband. She had already been married 3 times before, and those relationships seemingly ended under troubling circumstances. So Curtis decides to call the people who might know Dina best, her ex-husbands. And what she's about to hear may not just explain where Craig is, but also what really happened to him.
I got a voicemail from you about an hour ago, I guess.
I was calling to see if you had a minute to talk to me about Dina.
I was married to her 30 years ago. I called her demon possessed one time and about drove her crazy.
I was told there was possibly a time when she had tried to run you over with her car.
I would probably say that's more her drug addicted or alcohol addicted state that she gets that way. And that's the best time to leave her alone is when she's that way. So I think that's how we both survived for 10 years. Hello?
Hi, is this Scotty?
Yes.
Hi, it's Detective Curtis. First, let's go ahead and start with why did you guys end up getting a divorce?
Because she's crazy. She is what they classify as a binge drinking alcoholic. Whiskey turns her evil. Yeah, she assaulted me multiple times, broke 2 pair of glasses, balled up her fist and hit me. Twice she tried to kill me. You know, I was always afraid something like this was going to happen because I knew she was capable. And then, you know, when I saw that Craig was missing, I immediately called. You know, I tried to warn Craig multiple times, and she did state in front of me and my wife, if I could kill Craig and get away with it, I'd do it.
That final remark from Scott is disturbing and certainly doesn't bode well for the situation. Following these statements from Dina's ex-husbands, Detective Curtis decides to dig further into Scott's claims. Turns out, Dina worked as a correctional officer for nearly 8 years in the early 2000s. Then, in 2008, according to Scott, Dina was arrested for allegedly trying to stab him while intoxicated, an incident that reportedly landed her in jail overnight. After that, the couple briefly reconciled, but in 2010, Scott also alleged that Dina found his pistol and chased him while pulling the trigger, though the gun was not loaded and he survived. As Curtis continues reviewing the reports, she notices that at various points over the years, Dina's daughter Leslie had lived with her and Craig. So one of Curtis's co-investigators reaches out to Leslie to gain insights into what was happening inside that house. When he finally gets her on the phone, she shares some startling information about her mother.
How are you this morning?
Good as it can be. How are you?
I'm good. So, whenever you were living at the house, Leslie, was there domestic violence going on in the house? Did your mom and dad fight?
Yeah, all the time. My mom is crazy. My mom is so crazy. Like, she's tried to kill me before. She stabbed one of her other husbands. She tried to run my real dad over with a car. She had my sister hogtied and thrown in a car and, like, shipped off one time.
So, was your mom to you?
Yep, to everyone, pretty much. I always thought she was, like, possessed, like, demonic. Like, it was so evil that, like, I just couldn't believe, like, it was real.
Okay. At the time that you were there at the house, did your mom and dad drink or use drugs? Either one of them?
Yeah, she's an alcoholic. She's always been. She also does other drugs, and I think she might have poisoned him or been trying to poison him or something, or messing with his medication or something.
Needless to say, things are starting to sound grim. There are now 2 separate people alleging that Craig may be dead and that Dina could somehow be involved. With this troubling development in mind, Detective Curtis moves on to review the couple's recent financial activity, and this is where things become very peculiar. In the last 4 months, Dina appears to have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, including a new house and a new car, while also potentially helping fund her son's new business. With all these findings combined and Dina's shifting story, investigators begin to suspect they may be dealing with something far more serious than a missing person case, and the possibility of a concealed homicide now sits squarely on the table. But in the middle of trying to piece together what really happened to Craig, detectives receive a tip that his wife Dina has returned home and is acting as if nothing ever happened.
Somebody's home?
Following this, Deputy Roger Schoolcraft is sent to check if Dina returned home and can provide any answers. In a few seconds, he will come face to face with the verge of hearing a story that now believe why Craig their prime suspect. But before we get to that,
hi, good morning. Dina?
Yes.
Hi. Good morning, good morning. Hey, I'm doing some I'm Roger, I'm sorry. Roger Schoolcraft. Dina?
Yes, I think we met at a base, football game.
Probably did. I'm trying to do some follow-up on Craig. And I thought maybe I could meet with you. Maybe you could try to kind of help me, give me some information. And can we sit somewhere? Or?
Come over here.
All right. Kind of chilly.
No.
Okay, well, obviously we got some calls because people haven't been hearing from her or anything. So you being the wife, you might be able to help me.
Right, it's his mom. I talked to his mom.
Oh, really? So you guys aren't?
No, we have been having some issues.
Okay.
I guess you would say we're separated.
How long's that been going on?
Nothing's legal yet. We just haven't been spending any time together since at least February.
Early February, late February?
Late February, or mid-February.
Since mid-February. Things weren't working out, so you left, he left? How did that?
He left. He told me, well, he first went to Texas because said he needed to go help his mom.
So he left here to go help his mom?
That was what he said, yes. I've never really had any reason not to not believe what he said.
And that was like the second week of February?
You'll have to bear with me because I don't keep track of time.
Even though Dina doesn't keep track of time, she does seem to keep track of other things, like the details surrounding Craig's disappearance. Within just a few minutes of their conversation, Deputy Roger notices that Dina slightly adjusts her explanation about Craig's whereabouts, now claiming that he simply told her what he was doing, and she had no reason not to believe him. But as the pair continue rehashing the details, Dina begins to visibly sense that Deputy Roger isn't convinced. She appears to have no idea of the amount of suspicion that's been mounting against her. In reality, Dina is well prepared for this moment because she's about to present what she believes is concrete proof to validate her story and put an end to the growing suspicion around her.
I've never had a reason to doubt it, but now I do. I mean, I think that he has hooked up with some youngsters that are doing these classes, and I think he's reliving his youth, and he's ready for me to get out of the picture.
But where would he be doing that at?
Mexico, I guess. Mexico. But when I would come home, I mean, he's been here. It got to the point where he would just leave me a note, like that one, over there. Now there's been several. This is our communication right here for the last 2 months.
Okay.
And there's been several, but this one is from, like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, and you this is your handwriting and that's his?
Yes, because his family's been calling me, where is he? You know, and I'm like, I know as much as you do.
Where's El Salto?
Mexico.
And he has friends in El Salto, or he went?
Goes, El Salto is a trophy bass fisherman.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm a big bass fisherman too.
I think this would make like the 3rd time he's been there.
Even if Deputy Roger tried, he couldn't sound fully convinced that Craig actually wrote this message. But he takes the bait anyway, or at least allows Dina to believe her plan is unfolding exactly as she intended. Conveniently, Dina quickly moves on to the next step in her plan. There's something downstairs that might help clear things up, and she's willing to share it off the record.
Can I say something off the record?
Sure.
Craig keeps all our money in cash. I can't get in the safe, so I can't tell you if he took it or if it's there.
All the money? Mm-hmm. Why can't you get into the safe?
I don't have the combinations.
Was that an issue between the two of you? They wouldn't let you have access to the safe?
It wasn't an issue with us, but it was an issue with his first wife.
Well, she was stealing money from him or what? Okay, I understand now. And how much?
$1.5 million.
Could you show me where that safe is?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a substantial amount of money by anyone's standards, and Deputy Roger is beginning to suspect he may already know why Craig suddenly vanished. Even though Dina claims she can't access the safe, Roger will soon discover that this, too, might not be true. But since Dina brought up the money unprompted, Roger recognizes an opportunity to dig deeper and decides to take it.
I'm sorry. Got a bad knee. I'm apologizing.
Well, we could do
no, that's
the
good.
ground weight.
No, just getting old.
I feel you.
Holy smokes. Big house.
Yeah, it is.
Too big for 2 people.
It's way too big.
Oh, this is the bottom floor here? Or?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, that's cool.
Right?
Yeah, good Lord. That cost a penny.
Yeah, that was my present, and now I don't know if I get to keep it.
Yeah.
This one and this one.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
So you don't have the combination for either safe?
No. No, I just...
You didn't keep it written down anywhere, or you don't know? Mm-mm. Okay.
As Roger checks the safe, he has no idea that he is standing in the very spot where Craig's body remained for days, before it was eventually moved and hidden. None of that is apparent in this moment, so the two head back upstairs after taking a quick look. By this point, Roger feels he's heard what he came for and then some. But before leaving, he decides to share a small surprise he's been holding back.
Have you been married before too?
Oh gosh, yes.
Okay. Oh gosh, yes.
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Well, because it seemed to be a regular occurrence.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's. I make it a joke. Yeah, I mean, it took me a long time to figure out I'm the common denominator.
Mm-hmm.
So.
How many times were you married?
He is my fourth.
Your fourth? Okay.
Yes.
I don't know, just a little history of me. I'm actually a retired police officer. Came back to work about 2 years ago. I got bored sitting at home. But the vast majority of my career, I worked in investigations, CID, homicide unit in Albuquerque. So that's most of my career has been doing that.
Deputy Roger leaves little room for doubt, subtly making it clear that he is, in fact, investigating a possible homicide. Even though Dina tries to appear nonchalant, her face tells a different story. She looks visibly taken aback by the idea that a homicide detective is now sitting in her living room, and the timing of Roger's reveal couldn't have been more deliberate, coming right after Dina seemingly acknowledged that she's